Hi, friends. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Thank you so much for coming back if you've been here before. If you are new to the channel, I post a new pick a card reading every single Sunday, and I allow you to vote for what you'd like to see next. So don't forget to subscribe so that you can see the poll for the upcoming reading. But this week, we are doing a look at your love timeline, what is unfolding over the next year in your love life. And we have three options. So, option number one is the Lover's card from the Wild Reflections Tarot deck. Option number two is the Sun card with Princess Jasmine and Aladdin from the Fairy Tale Tarot deck. And option number three is the Two of Cups from the Modern Love Tarot deck. So ask yourself which pile or maybe piles have a message for you. And let's talk about what we are going to be looking at, what will be answered in this reading. So, for this reading, we are going to kick off by looking at your current energy in love. What's going on for you? Where are you as you are watching this? This is a timeless reading, so it's a year from whenever this reading finds you. We're going to jump into the key theme in your love life over the next year. So, what exactly is your love life going to be all about over this next upcoming year? We're then going to look at who or what will play a significant role, and this could be a person, an energy, an influence. What's the vibe is essentially what we are looking for. Then we're going to look at a defining moment or a turning point in your love life over the next year. We're going to look at how you will grow in love. So this could be with a person, this could be just your understanding of love, whatever comes through for you and your pile. We're going to be looking at something that you're going to be leaving behind. We're then going to move into where you'll be 1 year from now. So as we look at a year from now, where are you? We're looking at the starting point by looking at the current theme. And then we're looking at, the ending point a year from now. And then we're going to get advice for you, the viewer. So just practical advice that you can follow at this time. And this is going to be a live shuffle reading. So I will be using the Wild Reflections Tarot for pile number one. I will be using the Fairy Tale Tarot for pile number two, and I will be using the Modern Love Tarot for pile number three. So if it sounds like something that is interesting to you, something that would be helpful for you at this time, stick around. We're about to get started. If this is where you leave me, I hope you come back. Don't forget to visit again, and I hope you have a wonderful week. But let's jump into the reading. Hello, pile number one. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to the Lover's card. And this is from the Wild Reflections Tarot deck. And I will be shuffling live on camera, and that is the deck I will be using for this group. But to get started, we are going to look at what is going on in love currently for you. So use this portion of the reading as confirmation if this is where you are at as you are listening to this reading, because that will help you determine if this is the right pile for you. But as a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. But let's get started. So we're going to look at the pre-shuffled cards here, which is going to give me information as to what your current energy is. And we have Carrying Connections with the number 14. We also have Action, and that is the number 17. We have, Broken Heart with the number 9. And finally, we have Transformation with the number... there is no number on that card. I took a week off, and I'm not going to lie, this just feels like I haven't done this in way too long. But anyways, pile number one, let's talk about what's currently happening. So if you chose this pile, I think there's a few different scenarios happening. But I think all of the energy, the energy is very much going to be similar. It's just going to be different as far as how it's unfolding in your life. So I do think this is a pile where if you picked pile number one, there is a conscious effort or there is a desire for love, for something more in your love life. I do believe that those of you that picked pile number one, you're probably somebody who is currently single. You are probably somebody who is kind of doing your own thing. And it could be that you are single and you have come out of a relationship recently, or it's been a while since your last relationship, situation, connection, but you've been doing a lot of healing work, because that's what this feels like for me. This feels like somebody who's been focusing on themselves, somebody who's been kind of moving through and taking care of their own heart and paying attention to what's coming up. And I do feel like you, pile number one, have been doing a lot of introspection and just a lot of looking at the past, looking at, the present moment and thinking about the future and where it is that you are headed. And there is a level of just getting clear about your expectations, your desires, so that that is what you can manifest. But again, I do believe for my pile number ones, there's been a period of like being single, being on your own, figuring things out, putting yourself first. And I also think that what you've been through in love and relationships and connections has actually helped you become more clear on what you need going forward. So even if your last relationship was not a great one or your last connection was not a great one, there is almost a level of understanding that it helped you gain a deeper understanding of yourself and of your needs and wants and your non-negotiables in relationships. And I do feel that this is a group where you're in a place where you're being very intentional, right? So it's, I know that I want to bring someone in my life. And for some of you, you may already be kind of open to it and dating. For others of you, you're kind of moving into that transition period from, you know what, I'm getting ready for it. I'm going to put myself out there. Maybe I'm going to join the dating app. Maybe I'm going to kind of put myself out there, let my friends and family know that I'm ready. Or I'm just in a place where I am becoming more open to the experience. But regardless, there's a very intentional energy to this group of you want something that is going to stand the test of time. You want something that is in alignment with your desire for your future. And I think for my pile number ones, one big message that's coming through is, one, you're not going to sit around and wait for it, right? So this doesn't mean you're going to force it. But I also think for this group, again, it's very intentional. So if I am intentionally dating, I'm going to put myself out there. I am going to be very proactive. And I think that's why the action card is here, because I think you are going about this in a very intentional and just, I'm putting my best foot forward. I am going to make this happen for myself. And I do think that you have a very clear outline of what you are looking for. And for some of you, it could be that you're ready to get married, settle down, start a family. For others of you, you have a very clear indication that, your next relationship has to meet certain standards, that your next relationship has to be, I think for a lot of you in this pile, what you are looking for is the next relationship is the one. The next relationship is the one that I want to last for the rest of my life, or at the very least for a very long time. And again, you've done a lot of that healing work, and I think that's why that broken heart is here. Because I do think for this group, there was a timeout. There was a, going within and having to go through that transformation. And for a lot of you, what that helped you do as well was become more comfortable with yourself and become more confident within your own skin. Because this feels like, to me, this feels like you are living your best life. And also, part of what this caring connections is, I think it's all of the relationships outside of love and romance, right? In the romantic sense that you have built up. I think you have made friendships that are going to stand the test of time. I think that you have become more comfortable with yourself, that you love and respect yourself. And even though you may not be, super into every single aspect of yourself, because sometimes we all have things that we wish we could change or that we're still working on. I do think that you're in a place where there's a lot of self-respect, there's a lot of self-love here, and there is a lot of just, I hold space for myself and I give myself love and attention and I give myself all that I need. And that's kind of what's bringing you into this next chapter. But for this group, there is absolutely a like before and an after. And I think that you're moving into this new chapter in your life. And for some of you, this is going to be a new chapter in your life that is going to not only be about the current moment, but it's going to kind of, take you into the future. And it's not only about love in the romantic sense, but I think that it's going to affect different areas of your life as well, where you're going to notice that, a lot of shifts are happening in many different areas of your life. It could be career, it could be finances, but in addition to love, it just feels like there's a big transformation. And you're coming out of the cocoon, pile number one. That's a big one, right? We have that butterfly there with that transformation card. And this is you coming out of the cocoon. This is you going through this rebirth cycle and coming out on the other side of what for some of you could have been a dark night of the soul. That's absolutely coming through. And I want to mention that I think that on that action card, having that black horse and that white horse, it's representing polarity. It's representing the yin and yang, the masculine and the feminine, and I think that what you have been doing is creating more balance within yourself, and as a result, what you are going to see is your life is going to change and become more balanced, as well as below, as above, so below, as within, so without. It's kind of what's coming through here. And I also think that for this group, there's a lot of just comfort within your own skin that's coming through. But pile number one, let's start shuffling, let's start looking. So what is going to be the key theme in love over the next year? So what is your love life all about over the next year? I just want to show you this because as I cut the deck, we have Justice and we have the Two of Cups. I think for this group, a big focus is going to be bringing more balance to your relationships, to your love life, and to your connections. And I also have to say, pile number one, I don't think this is exclusive to just like romance. I think what you're going to notice is over the next year, your relationships, whether they are platonic, familial, or just romantic, there's going to be a lot of shifts happening. And it is going to be a big theme in your life overall, not just in your love life. But let's take a look at the key theme in your love life over the next year. So what is the key theme going to be? What's coming up? What's going to be the main focus? We have the Eight of Swords. So bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Swords, and this is speaking about you breaking through. You're breaking through what you thought was possible. You are breaking through patterns. You are breaking through your ideas about love and any limitations that you had placed on yourself around love, or anything that made you feel like you were trapped. So if you are someone where you have been trying, you have been putting yourself out there, and it just wasn't working, no matter what you did, it was like, you know what, I'm doing all the right things, I'm doing the work on myself, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, and no matter what, it just feels like it's not moving forward. It just feels like I hit a roadblock. what you're going to find is obstacles are going to be removed. With the Eight of Swords being here, I do feel like these are obstacles for many of you that were more of like stories that you were telling yourself, or just limitations that you had placed on yourself when it came to love and romance. But it could also be things that were just out of your control that were kind of getting in the way of progress. We have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, this is forward movement. We have action and the Knight of Swords. And then we have the Five of Cups. So pile number one, when it comes to the theme for love in your love life over the next year, you're doing, and I hate to say healing because it can be such a vague thing to say, right? But you are overcoming any limitations. You're putting yourself out there. I do think for this group, some of you will be experiencing just like going out there, going on dates, getting to know new people, getting to explore, getting to figure out, you know, what type of dates you like, what type of people you like to hang out with. I really feel for my pile number ones, this is a year where, yes, be intentional about what you desire, but also don't limit yourself by trying to box yourself in or trying to predict what the outcome is going to be to the point where you don't give somebody a chance. Because I think for this group, there's going to be so many opportunities to just get to know different types of people and to get to know, you know, just to put yourself out there. Maybe it's, you know, I'm going to go get coffee. We're going to go get dinner. We're going to just have a conversation. It's about exploring and not necessarily having to figure out like, this is going to be my future spouse. This is going to be the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. So approaching things with curiosity, because what you are doing or what is possible for you, the key theme over the next year is going to be growth, and it's going to be evolution, and it's going to be healing. I said this when we were looking at your current energy, but pile number one, this is a pile where you have been working on your self-confidence, self-esteem, self-worth. And it's almost like this is a healing period where you're coming into this and you're going to be able to truly enjoy this and to truly have fun with this if you allow yourself to. And here's the thing, maybe if you go on dates, not every single person is obviously going to be the one for you. But I do think it's going to give you opportunities to get to know people that are pretty cool, to get to know people that teach you about yourself, or just somebody that you can have a good conversation with and you can learn something about, even if it's, you know, I don't want my person to have that trait, or this person, I really like this about this person, even though I know this isn't my person. Then we have that Four of Swords. Yeah, you're coming out of, it almost feels like you're coming out of a period of inaction. And a big theme over the next year is going to be the opportunities that are going to be showing up. And I do feel for my pile number ones, there's going to be quite a few opportunities for you to get out there and for you to explore and for you to have a good time. So again, don't shut yourself out. Don't be so rigid in the next year. And that doesn't mean that every single person that you meet, you have to go on a date with, or every single person that asks you out deserves your time and energy. But if you're curious, be open to it. Go out there, figure out what's there, if anything. And if not, it is okay. This is a year for my pile number ones to explore. That I really think that is your key word. It's just like exploring over the next year. Let's take a look at who or what will play a significant role. And this could be a person. This could be just an energy, a influence. So we're going to ask who or what is going to play a significant role for my pile number ones. Who or what? You know what? Let's do 3. You know what? 4 want to come out. We're going to honor that. Let's see what we have here. So we have the 4 of Cups. I want to see what's here. And we're going to determine what this is. We have the 2 of Swords. Ace of Cups. 7 of Cups. Yeah, I'm absolutely getting that. Ace of Pentacles. So, pile number 1. Here's the thing for this group. I think it's different things for different people, right? And this is a general reading, so it makes sense that it's coming out in this way. So I think for some of you, there is going to be one person that's going to play a more significant role. And we're going to talk about that person. But before we do, I want to talk about what the overall energy here is. Because I think for my pile number 1s, what's possible over the next year is that there will be a few people that will play significant roles in your love life. And I think you're going to have choices. I keep getting that for this group. If I'm honest, I see 2 to 4 choices for my pile number 1s, where over the next year, you may meet these people, go on dates, and you may have a choice where, and it may be that you narrow it down between like 1 or 2 people. But this feels like a group where over the next year, especially like over the next 3 to 6 months, like from now to like the next 6 months, I would say, there's going to be opportunities for you to go on dates and get to know people, for you to explore and figure out who the right person for you is. And here is a spoiler alert, pile number 1. There's no necessarily right or wrong answer. And I feel that that is very true for most, if not all of you, that there's going to be multiple choices, and there may be one that is more in alignment with you, but overall, it's going to be up to you to choose. So one thing that's coming through is don't settle or don't feel like you have to pick the first person that you connect with over the next year, especially if you feel that there's something like, you know, maybe like there's something that doesn't feel 100% right, but it's close enough. Don't close yourself off immediately. Keep yourself open, and obviously you will know what is right for you. But for this group, I do feel there are options, and there's going to be quite a few options for you to choose from. But when it comes to the one person, I do think there is going to be one person that is really going to be a significant role. And for some of you, this one person is sticking out more than the others because this is the person that you choose. This is the person that you decide to move forward with. And if I'm honest, I feel like for most of you, this person comes in and the decision, the choice is made more in like the later part of the next year, meaning like 9 to 12 months is when you start to kind of build something with this person. For some of you, it could be that you are kind of dating multiple people at the same time, or it could be that you're talking to multiple people, or it could just be that you go through and you kind of go on dates with one person, decide that's not the right one for you, then you meet the next person. But I do think for this group, there are going to be choices, and it's going to be up to you who you choose and what you make of it. The ball is in your court, pile number 1. That is coming up very clear here. And it feels like it's supposed to be your choice. Like you are supposed to have more than one choice. And I will say for this group, I think there is more than one soulmate that is available for you, meaning more than one person that you have a strong and deep connection with. It is more about you both, but especially you, my viewer, choosing who is more in alignment with where you want to go. And I did say this for this group. I do think that you're still in a place where there's a lot of transitions and transformations happening in your life. And I think that's why there's also more than one option, because you're still going through a period of, through a period of evolution in your own life and through a period of transformation in your own life, where there can be kind of a crossroad that you can come into and decide who's a better fit for me and where I'm choosing to go over not only just over the next year, but in the span of my life, and where do I see my future and where do I see myself moving towards. One thing that is also coming through here is make sure that you are remaining grounded. Make sure that you are checking in with yourself, pile number one, and that you are doing what is in alignment with you. So if your gut, if your intuition is telling you this feels great, but something isn't right or something is missing, I feel like maybe there's somebody better out there. It could very well be that you still haven't met the right person. But at the same time, if you have met somebody and you are 100% sure, you are convinced, like, this is somebody that you want to explore, give yourself the opportunity to fully go in. And I think a big message for this group is to remain present and grounded, right? To remain present and grounded. We have that Four of Cups underneath the deck. So, being focused in the present moment and not allowing yourself to focus too much on the past, on the things that didn't work out, or even on the perfect future, because we get to create our future through the present moments. Let's take a look at what a defining moment or turning point will be for my pile number ones over the next year. And this is, of course, in love. So a defining moment or turning point for my pile number ones in love over the next year. I'm going to pick two. Bottom of the deck, we have the King of Swords. I almost feel like for this group, there's a freedom that you're going to be feeling, and almost a wisdom that you're going to be gaining about yourself and love and relationships and what you want going forward. We have the Knight of Pentacles. So I do think this is going to be a group where once you find your person, once you connect with the person that you want to be with, there's almost like this just comfort and this knowing, this inner knowing. And it's almost like you can relax into the moment. Let's see what else we have here. We have the World card. And we have the Seven of Pentacles. Pile number one. I think a big thing that you can be on the lookout for, or that you can expect to find, is that once you have found your person, and I do think for this group over the next year, for most, if not all of you, you will find somebody that you at least want to explore more with, like somebody that you have some sort of conversation with, you have some sort of forward movement with, where you both want to explore the connection more. And I think a big turning point is you finding that person and both of you going to the next step. Both of you deciding, you know what, we're going to be exclusive. We're going to close ourselves off. We want to explore more of this connection. Now, I have to say for most, or a good amount, I should say for a good amount of my pile number ones, it does feel like, I want to kind of emphasize this, I said this earlier, but it does feel like the first 6 to 9-ish months, you may not be super clear, or you may not have met the person that you're going to move forward with. And it feels like towards the end, like month 9 to like 12 of the next year is when you and this person start to kind of figure out that this is what we want to explore. This is where we want to kind of put our eggs in this basket. And it feels like it's going to be a very mutual thing. You're going to be able to talk to one another. And then it just feels like you kind of settle into a nice routine together where it feels safe. It feels like, you know, I'm exactly where I'm meant to be, and things are going the way that they're supposed to be going for me. And it just feels very comfortable to some extent. but it also feels like very grounded for this group. And it does feel like I'm closing a chapter and opening a brand new chapter. For some of you, it feels like I'm closing a book, right? And opening a brand new one, because we do have the World and the Seven of Pentacles. So this is, we are building something together. And I did say that at the beginning for this group, it's a very intentional way of dating that you're going into. And there is a very clear intention of wanting something for the future, wanting something that is going to lead to something long term. I think for most of my pile number ones, is it's very clear that that's what's coming through. Let's take a look at how will you grow in your love life. So how will you grow in your love life over the next year? What type of growth is my pile number one going to experience over the next year? I'm going to do 3 for this one. Bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Pentacles. You're feeling more secure within yourself. And I think that that is really what's going to help you find the right person, because pile number one, there's nothing more beautiful than when you know that regardless you're going to be okay, when you know what you are worth, and when you know that you don't have to beg anyone for anything that they're not willing to give, that you don't have to force anything that is not being freely given, and that you know that even though maybe, you may not enjoy being single, that you can still do it and be okay. So there's a lot of power, I think, for this group as far as love in the next year. But let's see what else we have here. So we have the Page of Pentacles, the Six of Wands. This is very beautiful. And the Devil card. Pile number one, I think how you will grow over the next year in your love life is really about you. Again, this is a group where you're going to be feeling more secure within yourself, right? So this is who I am. This is what I need. This is what I don't need. So especially pile number one, if you were somebody that you were a bit codependent, or you were, a people pleaser, or you've been the type of person that you've tried to bend over backwards to make somebody else happy, and you've accepted less than what you deserve, it doesn't feel like that's what's happening over the next year. And again, you've done that work. You've moved through that phase of your life, if that part resonates with you. And that's what we were talking about in the current energy, right? It's you've taken the time to become a new version of yourself that is more in alignment with where you are currently at, and that has taken the lessons and applied it. And you're going to be growing because you're leaning more into that. You're leaning more into, this is what I know I want in a partnership, and this is what I know I would thrive in, right? This is what would work for me, and this is how I am going to honor myself going forward. And I do think pile number one, you're going to be able to hold yourself accountable, but also you're holding the other person accountable. So, if you meet somebody and they start out great, they're doing all the things, and then next thing you know, they're kind of just, not sticking to their end of the bargain, or you're starting to see some cracks in the persona, you're able to say, this is not my person, so I can move forward, or this isn't who I thought it was. There's really you're taking your time with this, and you're allowing yourself to be authentic. You're allowing yourself to be vulnerable, but you're also expecting authenticity and vulnerability and accountability from the other person that you are engaging with. And the more you do that, the easier it is for you moving forward, because the way that you're going to be moving is going to allow the other person to show their true colors, and it's going to allow you to figure out if this is the type of person that you want to spend time with or not. But I also think the growth here over the next year is that you are breaking free from some sort of pattern or some sort of relationship type that you were engaging in. It's no longer going to be a reality for you, and you're coming into this in a way more empowered way. Again, if you have to walk away or if you have to call something out, you will. And accountability is what keeps coming up here. So, what is something that you're leaving behind in your love life over the next year? I just heard self-doubt. Self-doubt. I heard that one. Let's see what we have here. So, what is something my pile number ones will be leaving behind over the next year in their love life? Bottom of the deck, we have the moon. Yeah, self-doubt. I mean, the moon card. I also think that with the moon card, self-doubt, just worst case scenario, anxiety. I think for some of you, just people pleasing, codependency, if it is to a almost like a little bit of an unhealthy codependency, because we're humans, right? We're dependent. We are social creatures. We are meant to be dependent on each other. But I think that there's a lot of shadow aspects that we're playing up in your love life that they're being left behind. They're not being brought. And for some of you, if you had like an avoidance or an anxious attachment style, that could be what's coming up here as well. The Four of Cups. As to what's being left behind, the Ten of Wands. I love this pile number one, and the Four of Swords. What you are leaving behind is the struggle. Again, you're being intentional about how you are going to date, and you are not putting up with bullcrap from anyone, including yourself. And accountability for this group. I also think that sense of like apathy, or that sense of just frustration with dating and with love, and maybe even the idea that, love isn't like it used to be, or nobody wants a relationship, or the right people aren't out there, or everybody wants to play games. That is something that is being left behind. Whatever negative belief or outlook you had when it came to love and relationships, it feels like that's being pushed aside. And some of you may be doing just like affirmations, or you may just have decided like, this is what I want, so I'm going to go find it. And here's the thing, pile number one. If that's what you want and you exist, then there is somebody else out in the world that wants the same thing that you do, and they exist as well. So yes, there may be people that are out there and they're playing games and they just want situationships and they want all the things that you don't want. But also the fact that you are here and that other people pick this pile and that other people want this, it means that there's also people that want it as well, right? So there's an opportunity for partnership. And I think that a big thing that you're leaving behind over this, next year is, again, self-doubt. I really got that. Let's take a look there. Justice. Yeah. It's this idea that I'm not going to get what I want. I'm not going to get what I deserve, or what I want, what I deserve is not out there for me, because that's just not true. And I also think that you're bringing yourself back into the action and not allowing yourself to be to keep yourself out of the game, out of fear, or out of worst case scenario thinking. And that's powerful. So where will you be 1 year from now? For my pile number ones, where will my pile number ones be 1 year from now? And again, this is timeless, so whenever you're watching this a year from now, where will my pile number ones be in love? I'm going to do 3. Bottom of the deck, the Five of Pentacles. Let's see what's here, because I'm very curious. Ace of Swords, Five of Swords, and Knight of Wands. So Pile, I actually want to see what's underneath here. Two of Cups. Okay. All right. That I feel better with that one. So with the Five of Pentacles being at the bottom of the deck, I think this is actually speaking because we have the Two of Cups. Let's see what else. We have the Queen of Cups under there as well. So I think where you're going to be a year from now is there's going to be more excitement for you in your life. I also think there's going to be a deeper understanding of self and where you are headed. I do think for this pile, for many of you, I'm not going to say all of you because, many different people watching, so take it as it resonates. I think for many of you, you're going to be in a place where you are having some sort of new beginning and you are moving forward with a partner. For those of you where that's the case, I think what you're doing is you're shifting from I have to do it alone, I have to go at it, I'm single, I'm always having to figure my own things out, to more of a partnership being here. And I think that there is a lot of just, we have the Knight of Wands here, a lot of excitement, a lot of fun times. But I also think there is a level of adjustment that's happening a year from now. Whether that is because I found somebody and now I am, we're trying to figure out life together, which happens, right, when you're in a couple, especially if you've been single for a while, which I do think for this group, for many of you, you have been single for quite a bit. We're trying to, kind of compromise, figure things out. But I also think that where you're going to be a year from now, pile number one, is in a place where regardless of what's happening in your love life, there's almost this sense of I can count on myself, I am doing good, and there's a lot of transformation here. I also think that with the Five of Swords being here, and we also have the Five of Pentacles, so we have two fives. There's a level of change that you are undergoing. And I think that's why I said like compromise or just a shifting. But it does feel like for this group, some of you could be even moving a year from now. And I'm almost wondering if you're moving in with someone or if you're moving to be closer to someone or someone is moving to be closer to you. But it does feel, with this combination, it feels like there's more ease coming in a year from now. See, we have the Queen of Cups, Nine of Cups, Two of Cups, and the Five of Pentacles. It feels like it's the ending of a difficult period of time. And there's a lot more excitement. I'm moving away from conflict. I'm moving away from overthinking, overanalyzing, and I'm moving towards clarity, towards understanding, towards being present in the present moment, and towards adventure. Pile number one, let's take a look at what is the advice for you, my viewers. So we're just going to ask for advice for you for over the next year. What is the advice? And this could be just practical advice. What can you do practically? Bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Wands. One thing that's coming through, before I even look at these cards, I want to talk about this Five of Wands. Pile number one, over the next year, don't worry about what anybody's doing. Don't worry about what other people look like. Don't worry about what is expected of you. Worry about yourself. Focus on yourself. Especially when it comes to like looks or like how people should be dating or expectations, anything like that. Focus on yourself. You don't have to fit in. You don't have to change yourself. You don't have to mold yourself into something that you are not. Queen of Wands, already loving the advice. The Hermit card, already loving the advice. And Page of Wands. So pile number one, your advice for the next year is going to be all about enjoy yourself, have fun, embrace your authenticity, embrace who you are, embrace everything that you bring to the table. Show yourself, right? Show yourself. Oh my God, I'm about to start singing the Frozen song. Anyways, show yourself, show who you truly are, and lead with your authenticity. Allow people to see what makes you you. Allow people to see everything that makes you unique. Follow your desires, follow your interests. So if you are open to dating, and if you've been watching it and watching this and you've made it this far, I would think that you are. Go and do the things, right? Go take the art class. Go to have the coffee. Go do what you love to do. Go volunteer at that place. Go make new friends. Don't be afraid to strike up a conversation with people. Don't be afraid to go out and try something new. This year is all about you. This year is all about you exploring and you following these ideas and following your heart. And you know what? Dress the way that you want to dress. Look the way that you want to look. Say the things that you want to say. Break out of the mold. That's a big message here. It's like, break out. You don't have to do what other people are doing. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Worry about yourself. Also, don't burn yourself out. So obviously, put yourself out there, do the things. This is a year where it's going to be more outgoing for you, but also balance it out, check in with yourself, go within, and always, always, always trust your gut. Pile number 1. All right, let's see what these cards say for you. Let's start. Do I want to start here or do I want to start here? Let's start here. So it says, intuition, you already know the answer that you seek. So again, trust yourself, trust your intuition at this time. Abundance, you've done the work, abundance flows to you now. Absolutely, that is a big message. A lot of what's coming in is because of all of the work that you've already done. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner that you seek. I do think over the next year, you're probably, I said it, for most of you, if not all of you, you're probably going to meet the one, but also don't rush it. Don't force it. Past life relationship, you have known each other before. So this is going to be a connection with somebody that is going to feel familiar. If you believe in past lives, it could be somebody that you've had a past life with, but that could just speak to a soulmate and just somebody that feels very familiar to you. And then we have romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So this is a year of romance for this group. Go out there, explore, have fun. Don't take it too seriously. I know that this is a group where you're probably very clear about what you want, but have a good time. Enjoy the process. Pile number 1, that is what I have for you. Claim it. I am open to romance. I am open to romance. That is your affirmation for the week. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the video if you think it's worth sharing. Let me know what else you'd like to see next. Stay tuned for the poll. It's going to be up very, very soon. But yeah, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and we will talk soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to the Sun card with Princess Jasmine and Aladdin. I'm going to place that right over here. So as a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. I did do a reading breakdown that is going to tell you exactly what will be covered in this reading, and that is timestamped below. I highly suggest that you check that out. But we're going to start out by looking at current energy. Where are you in love? What's going on for you? And this should help you figure out if this is the right pile for you. So if this part doesn't make sense, try choosing a different pile. Because the rest of it probably won't. But let's take a look. So we have woman holding a heart. We also have first chakra with Archangel Michael, and this is the root chakra. I actually just noticed we have 44, so 4 plus 4 in numerology. We have the number 8, and then we have 5 plus 3 or 3 plus 5, numerology number 8. So we have 8, 8. Could be that you have a life path number 8, or the number 8 is just very important, or you could be seeing the number 8 quite a bit lately. But finally, we have the number 42 with woman holding a coin. Very interesting. And then finally, we have balance. Yeah. And I will say, for this group, it feels like balance is kind of what's being focused on here. So pile number 2, let's talk about current energy. I think this is a pile where right now there's a lot happening, or at the very least, you're trying to keep your energy focused on multiple things. I do think this is a group where there is either a desire for love or it's something that is kind of there. But I also don't think that love and romance and relationships is at the forefront for this group. I do think for most, you are probably single. There could be some of you that are in a connection, in a situation, in a relationship. But it feels like right now where you are at, it's either you're trying to find balance between a relationship, a connection that is already existing in your life, and maybe there's other areas of your life that is calling your attention. Maybe it's career, maybe it's finances, maybe it's like a hobby, or, relationships that are platonic. But it feels like this is a group where you're very, very busy. There's a lot going on. There's a lot that's kind of taking up your time and energy. And love is one of those things, but this doesn't feel like the only priority in your life. So for those of you where you do resonate with the message that maybe you are in a connection already, or you're getting to know somebody, where there's somebody in the picture in some way, it feels like you're trying to just juggle everything and juggle that connection, juggle what comes next, and juggle the other things that are happening in your life. For those of you that are single, unattached, there's nobody around, and you are kind of just on your own, it could be that you're in a place where you're considering dating, or you're considering putting yourself out there, but maybe you're not sure if you have enough time or energy to put into love and relationships right now, because there are other things that are kind of calling your attention elsewhere. That could be the message as well. But I do feel like for this group, at the very least, there is some sort of calling that you are feeling towards love and relationships. And some of you may be on this reading and you weren't necessarily seeking a love reading, or you're not the type of person that enjoys love readings, but maybe you were called to this. It just feels like this is a time where there's almost like a spark of just, maybe I do want to explore this, but this doesn't feel like a group where your attention is fully set on love and romance at this time. It's, for some of you, again, it's just kind of a curiosity that's there, or you're slightly open to it, but you're not overly trying to, it almost feels like you're not overly trying to make it your one and only focus. And for those of you that are in a connection, I'm almost wondering if you're struggling with trying to figure out if this is worth exploring more of. Because I do think this is a period of transformation for this group, and I do think there's a push and pull aspect to this, because we have woman holding a heart, and we see that heart there, and we see the butterfly, so that transformation again. But we also have woman holding a coin, and we see that black cat, and cats can be very playful. They can be very independent. And I'm also wondering if for a small number of you, you're in a place where you want something more casual, or you want to have a good time, or maybe you have somebody in your life where it's not super serious at this point, but you're kind of still open to it, or you're exploring it, but you know it's not something that you want to dive too deep into. So this feels like a group where the scenarios are always going to be different because it's a general reading, but overall it just feels like you're trying to figure out what's next, and you're trying to figure out where you want to invest your time and energy. And for some of you, like I said, for this group, there may already be a certain someone around. And for others of you, it could just be that you're just kind of open to it, thinking about it, but there's no one specific here. And you did choose the Sun card, which is all about, joy and happiness and having a good time. And as I'm recording this, it is June 2025. It is a timeless reading. But as I'm recording this, it is June 2025. So if you're watching this as this goes up, it could be that you're kind of in this place of like, do I want a summer romance? Do I want to open myself up to that? But this feels like a group where it's not necessarily 100% clear what you are looking for, or you're not 100% set on this is the type of experience that I want to have. And it doesn't feel like this is a group where it's necessarily that you're looking for something, you may not necessarily be looking for somebody that's going to be the forever and ever, but you could be open to that. But it doesn't feel like, this is a group where all of you are necessarily wanting like your future spouse or your forever person, though that could be the case. Let's actually take a look at the key theme for your love life over the next year. So for my pile number 2s, what is going to be the theme for my pile number 2s in love over the next year? And I think for some of you, pile number 2, it could just be that you're open to like, let's go on a date and have a good time, but like, you don't want to, like, there's no it almost feels like for this group, there isn't necessarily expectations, right? So we have Tarzan and Jane with 8 of Cups. Seek a deeper emotional connection and follow your heart's desires. Sometimes the path to personal growth requires exploring the unknown. And I feel that, right? The 8 of Cups is a card that speaks of, I choose myself, I put myself first, and I do what is right for me. And it does feel like this is a group where that is a little bit of the vibe that's coming through, where I have other things that require my time and energy, and maybe I'm kind of open to having a good time, and I may even be open to finding somebody that could be around for a long time, but I'm not necessarily going in with that expectation. I'm putting myself first. And I think for some of you, you're kind of a bit on the fence of, do I even want to open myself up for more or not? And some of you could be in a place where, you join a dating app and then you delete it 24 hours later, and then 3 days later you kind of put it back up, and then somebody annoys you and then you're done with it. So it could be a little bit of just push and pull energy here. The 6 of Wands. Pile number 2, I love this because we have the 8 of Cups and the 6 of Wands. I haven't looked at these yet, but so far this is really just me, myself, and I. I'm putting myself first. I'm putting my experience first, and I want to make sure that I am doing what is right for me. And for some of you, there is a different area of your life, and it could be career and finances, that is at the forefront at this point in time. And that could be why you're kind of a little bit on the fence or holding back, or you're not fully investing all of your energy in love and romance. So we have the Wheel of Fortune with Alice in Wonderland, and it says life is full of cycles. Embrace change with grace, for the wheel is always turning and fortune can swing in your favor. We have the Hierophant, and this is Cinderella's fairy godmother. She had an upgrade. Open your heart and mind to the wisdom of the ages to discover the sacred knowledge that leads to fulfillment and happiness. They really said we're going to change this fairy godmother. And then finally, we have the Three of Cups with Ballerina and the Steadfast Tin Soldier. And it says, celebrate the abundance of joy, friendship, and connection in your life. Share your happiness with others and let the good times flow. That's the vibe. That's the vibe for this group. Pile number 2. So your theme over the next year is change. For some of you, all right, there's a few more scenarios. Take the ones that resonate for, or the one that resonates for you. I think for some of you, what could be happening is that maybe you are coming out of a serious relationship, and maybe, you've kind of done the healing work, but you're also kind of open to having a good time, but maybe you're not fully set on like settling down, or at least you're not going into it with that intention. If you meet the right person, it's the right person and you're willing to explore it, but you're not specifically out there looking for that forever and ever. I also think for some of you, again, there could already be someone and it's like we're having a good time, we're enjoying it, but maybe this isn't the person that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with, and maybe they've already told me that they're not going to be around forever and ever, or maybe I just see something in them and in myself that wouldn't work long term, but I'm really enjoying where this is at. And for others of you, again, it's just, I'm single, but I'm busy and I'm not really trying to put all my eggs in one basket. And there's other areas of my life that are taking my attention. As far as the key theme in your love life over the next year, I think it's going to be all about just having a good time, making friends, making connections, kind of connecting with people and also with yourself. But I do think there's going to be opportunities for you to find enjoyment and find people that you can connect with, or a person that you can connect with. But it does feel like this is really friendship based. So even if you find somebody and it ends up turning into something a little bit more long term, or somebody that you really enjoy spending time with, I think what you're going to find is that at the base, there's going to be a friendship. This could be something that starts as a friendship. And I also think that for you, pile number 2, you're going into this with a very open mind, and you're going to be discovering more about yourself and your beliefs around love and relationships. And this could be a pile where maybe you're the type of person that you've never been open to something casual, or you've never gone into something without expecting it to be long term. And this could be a brand new approach for you. But it just feels like this is a time where it's almost like you're going with the flow. And the key theme over the next year is self-discovery, going with the flow, and making sure that you are having a good time and that you are enjoying yourself throughout this upcoming year and throughout the experiences that are going to be coming in for you. For someone here, there may be a connection that is very, I don't want to get demonetized, very sensual, very 18 plus. And it, again, it may not be something that necessarily, like, it could be a fling for some of you. But I want to make this clear. If you're listening to this pile and you're just like, I don't want a fling, and that's not something that resonates with me, that's not for you. Or it could even be that this is not your pile, because whatever this is, the energy overall is very low expectation, very in the moment, going with the flow. So if you're here and you know that you're the type of person that you're like looking for your forever person, this may not be your pile. All right, let's take a look at who or what will play a significant role in your love life over the next year. I don't know why I'm shuffling. See, I was going to say, I don't usually shuffle that way. Bottom of the deck, we have Abu with Ace of Pentacles, a new opportunity for prosperity and abundance is on the horizon. Plant the seeds of your desire and watch them grow into tangible results. Yeah, for some of you, what I think is going to be happening is over the next year, there's other areas of your life that is going to require a lot of your attention. Let's take a look. So we have the Lovers card with Prince Philip and Aurora, and it says, love and harmony surround you. Embrace the power of connection and unity in both your relationships and choices. We have Jafar with the Five of Cups. Acknowledge your grief and disappointment, but don't dwell on it. Turn your focus toward the two remaining cups, hope and renewal. And we have Cinderella with the Queen of Wands. You embody strength and charisma. Use your leadership abilities and nurturing nature to inspire others and create positive change. Pile number 2. For most of you, the most significant person in the upcoming year is yourself. And I think this is a year that feels very empowering. And I think you're going to have a choice on what happens for you in love and relationships in the next year. And obviously, you know, when you say certain things out loud, you hear yourself. Obviously, you have a choice, pile number 2, because this is your life and you have autonomy over your own life. But what I mean is, I think you're going to have a choice as far as what you experience in love over the next year. I think for some of you, you may choose yourself and you may choose to kind of focus on yourself, and you may choose to focus on, again, it could be a different area of your life, such as like career, finances. Someone here could be a parent, and it could be like your focus is on your child, on buying a house, on building up your finances. Some of you could choose another person where maybe you meet somebody and it's fun and it's exciting, and then you realize there's something there and you want to take it further. And for others of you, it could just be that you either have already met this person, you meet somebody and it's fun, it's exciting, but you also know that you're not ready to dive deeper into it. Again, this is a group where there's a lot of different scenarios and they're all kind of playing out at the same time throughout the reading. So it's up to you to pick the messages that apply to your situation. But I think over the next year, you are the most important person, and you making sure that you are getting what you need and that you are honoring what you need. So pile number 2, something that is very important here for this group is, for example, if you meet someone, right, and like you really like them and you know that there's nothing that's possible there long term, and you agree to see them, you agree to have a situation with them, a connection with them, a fling with them, or a short-term relationship with them, do it as long as it honors you and where you are at, and not because you want to please someone else or because you think it's going to change their mind or get you to where you want to be with someone. That's a very important message coming up here, is honoring yourself and giving yourself what you need. And for some of you, again, it could be that you have come out of a relationship recently and you're in a place where you don't want to give your time and energy to, you know, building up a new relationship, and you just want to have a good time. That's absolutely valid. We also have the Knight of Pentacles here. I do think the most important person is you, and you are the person that's going to play the most significant role. And it's about you honoring you and you putting yourself first and you making sure that you are giving yourself exactly what you need. And that's a very interesting take on that. But that's how I'm reading this. Let's see what was underneath that. You have the Three of Pentacles. And there will be opportunities for you to connect with other people. But as far as the significant role, it's being played by you. And this is a year, it almost feels like a year of my pile number twos stepping fully into themselves and who you are and what you want and what you don't want, and honoring all of that. Let's take a look at a defining moment or turning point over the next year in love for you. For my pile number twos, what is a defining moment or turning point? Let's take a look. This is an interesting reading so far. So we have Princess Merida with justice. Balance and fairness are your guiding principles. Seek the truth and make the just decisions. The scales of justice are in your hands. Yeah, this is a very empowering year for this group. All right, pile number two. Let's see what we have here. So we have the 10 of Cups with Fa Mulan and Li Shang. With enjoy happiness and harmonious relationships. Your emotional world is rich and you have found a place of true contentment. Then we also have Prince Philip with the King of Pentacles. Your financial acumen and leadership qualities make you a pillar of stability. Lead with authority and manage your wealth with care. And then we have Prince Florian with the Emperor. Exercise your authority and leadership wisely. Establish order and structure in your life, and you'll find success. Some of you, pile number two, this is very interesting because this is supposed to be a love reading, and I gotta give you messages as they come through, and some of these messages are not necessarily with love. Have to do with love or relationships. But a defining moment, I think, for you over the next year is going to be one, for some of you, I think there's going to be either something that happens in your finances or in your career, or obviously it could be both. Like something happens in your career, like you get a promotion or you get a new position, a new job, or you graduate and you start working in something else, or you go into business for yourself. But it does feel like for some of you, a big turning point is you reaching the next level. And this does feel like it's outside of love and relationships. And maybe it's more within finances or career work, something along those lines. But I also think for others of you, a big defining moment or turning point in the next year is going to be you feeling comfortable within where you are at in your life and you feeling secure within yourself to the point where it allows you to be bold and to go for what you want. And to this really feels like you're elevating your status. And for some of you, it could have to do with career and finances. And for others of you, it's also just internally how you are feeling about yourself. It could just be that you're feeling good about yourself. You're feeling more comfortable. You're feeling like I'm the crap and I'm here and I'm going to get whatever I want and I'm going to go after what I want and I'm going to live my best life. The Five of Swords, because we also have Lady Tremaine with the Five of Swords, and this is about conflict and letting go. Someone here could be going through a divorce. Pile number two, if you are going through a separation, a divorce, if you're going through a breakup, I think part of the turning point or part of the defining moment could be you fully closing the door on that connection, on that relationship. Like something happens where you fully close the door on it and you could choose to move on. There are many options for this group. And the option that is going to be, or the options that are going to be available to you individually, really depends on what the scenario that you're going through in your life is. This is a very interesting one because this feels like it could cover many different scenarios. Let's actually keep going. Let's look at how will you grow in your love life over the next year. So how will you grow in love or in your love life over the next year? What is the growth that's going to be not only happening for you, but what opportunities are there for you? For my pile number twos, how will my pile number twos grow in love over the next year? Bottom of the deck, Red Riding Hood, and we have the Eight of Wands. A surge of energy and progress is on the horizon. Swift developments are coming your way, and you must be ready to act. Very interesting. All right, let's see. So we have Princess Snow White with the Empress. Nurture and create abundance and fertility. Surround you. Embrace the beauty of life and allow your creativity to flourish. We also have Belle with the Queen of Swords. Your sharp intellect and clear communication make you a formidable presence. Use your wisdom and honesty to guide others. We have Peter Pan with the Two of Wands. You hold the world in your hands. It's time to make choices that will shape your destiny. Trust your instincts and set your plans into motion. And we have the Steadfast Tin Soldier with the Four of Swords. Rest and recuperation are necessary for mental well-being. Take a pause to rejuvenate your mind and spirit, and you'll return stronger. Pile number two. I think this upcoming year is going to be, again, this is about you choosing you. And you choosing what is right for you. And what is right for you is going to be dependent on who you are. What is right for you is going to be dependent on what you choose to experience over the next year. A big message for this group is there's no right or wrong. You get to decide what you want to experience. We have the Empress, we have the Queen of Swords, and we have the Two of Wands, right? So I'm going to talk about this Four of Swords separately, but for some of you, you're choosing something completely different. You're choosing something that maybe you didn't even think was possible for you, or something that may shock you. And I keep getting that for this group. For some of you, it could be that you're the type of person that you've always operated in relationships. You've always kind of wanted to be in a relationship and in a connection that is long lasting, or that, you know, that there's intention behind it. And you find yourself in a place where it's, I just want to have a good time. I want to try something completely new. And here's the thing. You can try that and you can decide midway through, you can decide at the end of the year, midway through the year, you can decide a month after you go down this experience that it's not what you want. The thing here is over the next year in your love life, you are going to have choices. Not only choices around who you entertain, but also choices around what you entertain. Do you want to kind of have a good time and not settle in with someone? Do you want to explore a connection with somebody that maybe is not your typical type, or somebody that you know it's not going to last a long time? Do you want to have a summer fling? I'm hearing the Summer Love song from Grease. Oh my God, I love that song. But it's up to you. And I also think that part of what is also going to be happening is that you're going to have more than one opportunity as far as people. Like, I do think there's at least one or two people for this group over the next year where you can meet these people and you can decide to get to know them, or you can, like, maybe you have to make a choice between two of them. But the Four of Swords is also here. So I do think this is a year where I'm putting myself first. I'm doing what is right for me, but it's also giving you time to take care of yourself. And it's going to be important for you to take care of yourself. Pile number two. Some of you, you're not putting all of, like, emotionally, you're not going to be investing into just like, you're not going to be putting all of your eggs into one basket. Pile number 2, for some of you, whoever's coming in, they're going to have to really show you who they are if they want you to invest your time and energy into them. Let's take a look at what is something that you're leaving behind. Hopefully this is going to give us some more answers. So what is something that my pile number 2s are leaving behind in love over the next year? What is something my pile number 2s are leaving behind in love over the next year? Bottom of the deck, we have Pocahontas with Page of Swords. Curiosity and a thirst for knowledge drive your intellectual pursuits. Explore new ideas and communicate with a spirit of inquiry. Some of you are leaving behind a specific person and you're cutting them off completely. We have the Justice card with Princess Merida. Balance and fairness are your guiding principles. Seek the truth and make just decisions. The scales of justice are in your hands. Then we have Megara with 6 of Wands. Victory and recognition are yours. Your perseverance has paid off, and now is the time to bask in the glory of your achievements. And we have Kristoff with the Knight of Cups. Your quest for love and emotional fulfillment leads you in a noble journey. Trust in your romantic nature and pursue your heart's desires. Pile number 2, for some of you, what you are leaving behind is a different person, right? What you are leaving behind is someone that maybe you did think that you were going to spend the rest of your life with, or somebody that was very meaningful to you, somebody that was very important to you. Take that if it resonates. For others of you, what you are leaving behind is the need to know the outcome and the expectations on your experiences. For some of you, what you are leaving behind is also this having to operate from a place of having to know exactly how something is going to turn out, or having expectations of like, the next person I'm going to connect with is going to be the love of my life, or the person that I marry. So expectations are being left behind for some of you. For others of you, what you are leaving behind is a little bit of like your romantic nature. Like, some of you may have been hopelessly romantic, and maybe you're in a place in your life where you're approaching things a little bit differently. You could be approaching things with a more realistic, and I'm going to say realistic because I think this could be a point in time or a moment in time, depending on where you are at. Outlook here, because it feels like this is a group where I want to use the correct word, because I know somebody's going to get pissed off if I say the wrong thing, and I really don't want to argue with anybody in the comments. But this almost feels like some of you are in a place where how do I want to say this? Because this feels like, let's see what's underneath here. The 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, Cruella de Vil. Some of you are in a place where it's almost like you've reached this cynical place of just not necessarily fully believing in love, or not necessarily looking for something that it's almost like you're approaching things completely differently, and it's not a bad thing. It's just, it is what it is. And I do feel for this group, for the majority of you, your focus is going to be elsewhere, and love and relationships is going to be secondary. And if that doesn't sound like you, I mean, if the current energy that we did at the beginning doesn't sound like you, I don't think this is your reading, because this feels like I'm trying something new because this is what I need in this season of my life. And I have to approach it in this way. And it could be the person that you're dealing with. It could be due to a breakup. It could be due to a separation, a divorce. Or it could just be due because like your attention is elsewhere. Let's keep going. So where will my pile number twos be a year from now? For my pile number twos, where will my pile number twos be a year from now? We talked about the current energy, so I want to see a year from now, where will my pile number twos be in love and relationships a year from now? All right, let's see. Bottom of the deck, the Seven of Pentacles with Jane, and it says, assess your investments and progress. Take a moment to reflect on the growth and potential of your ventures and consider your next steps. Yeah, this is a group where I think finances and career is like at the forefront of your life. And love is just kind of, love and relationships is just secondary at this point. So we have Hercules with strength. Harness your inner courage and patience to overcome challenges. Your gentle strength will lead to victory. We also, we have Hercules, Maleficent. Sheesh. So we have the High Priestess with Maleficent. Trust your intuition and inner knowledge. Explore the mysteries within yourself to find the answers that you seek. And we have Princess Elsa of Arendelle with the Moon card. Trust your intuition even in the midst of uncertainty. Explore the depths of your emotions and subconscious. Pile number two, I want to talk about this because if you know anything about fairy tales, Disney, whatever you want to call it, because some of these are Disney characters. We have Hercules, we have Maleficent, we have Princess Elsa, or Elsa, Queen Elsa, whatever her name is at this point. The fact that that's who's showing up for you in a year, I think really speaks to the overall energy of this group, which is boss babe energy, regardless of your gender. Boss babe, that's what this is giving. And I think a year from now, you're in a place where you are feeling more, I think you're feeling stronger, more courageous. I also think that this is a year where, regardless of what you decide to explore when it comes to love and relationships, what you are going to find is a year from now, you're going to be in a place where you are more comfortable. But I also think that you have done a lot of the healing work. And we started off with the Eight of Cups at the bottom of the deck when I shuffled for the first question, which was the key theme of your love life. And I said it. This is a group where, regardless of who else is involved, the next year is all going to be about you and about your evolution and your growth. And I think a year from now, you're in a place where you feel closer to yourself, to your truth. And I have to say, to me, this feels like a very independent energy. That's not to say that you can't be in a relationship or you can't be involved with someone a year from now. But it feels like overall, this is a year where you are the main character of your story. And where you will be a year from now is independent, living your best life, and standing up for what you know is right for you. And we have three majors. We have strength, we have the High Priestess, and we have the Moon card. And I think you're going to be further in your pursuits, and you're going to be reaching your goals. Whether those goals are around dating or not is going to be up to you. But it feels like a lot of independent growth over the next year and where you will be. And it also feels like career and finances are very important for this group, and you will be working on those things over the next year, and it will be a priority for this group. So let's take a look at what is the advice for the next year for my viewer, and this is practical advice. So bottom of the deck, we have Princess Jasmine with the 9 of Pentacles. See, we have a lot of like finances, career cards coming out. So you have achieved financial independence and self-sufficiency. Revel in the beauty and abundance of your accomplishments. And then we have Esmeralda with the 4 of Pentacles. While financial security is important, don't hold on to material possessions too tightly. Be generous and open to abundance. Then we have Evil Queen with the Devil card. Face your inner demons and break free from self-imposed limitations. You have the power to release yourself from bondage. And then finally, we have Princess Elsa and Anna with 9 of Cups. Your wishes are coming true. And emotional satisfaction is within reach. Count your blessings and take the joy in fulfillment of your desires. Pile number 2, when it comes to what your advice is for the next year, I think a big thing is going to be here is continue to work towards your dreams and goals and what you desire, especially within like career, finances, whatever your goals there are. Like if there's somebody here that's like working towards buying a house, I think that's very possible. That's coming through. Take it as it resonates. Or like moving, relocating, something along those lines, that's coming through. I also think that this is really kind of giving advice as far as get clear about what you want in all areas of your life, including love and relationships. Because I think over the next year, you're going to be given the opportunities that you ask for. It's almost like whatever you ask for, the right opportunities are going to show up. So get clear about what that is. And when it comes to love and relationships, be very intentional. And I said that throughout the reading of just like make sure that you are honoring yourself as far as what you want so that you are doing right by you over the next year in connections and in love. And there is no right or wrong answer. You get to choose what you want to explore more of. I want to see what these cards are. Let's start here. Let's see what we had here as far as the messages. Twin flame, this is a divine counterpart connection. So for some of you, it could be that you have either a twin flame divine counterpart coming in, or you already know that person, or maybe there's a separation period here. That, yeah, we have different pages. You and this person don't share the same vision. So for some of you, it could be that you are in I said this, for some of you, there could already be somebody in the picture, and maybe you keep it lighthearted, and maybe what you're doing over the next year is focusing on you and doing what's right for you, especially if you and the person that is involved in this is on different pages. That's all you can do. And maybe that's why a lot of this is kind of a little bit on the casual side, or a little bit on like just focusing on you. And then decisions. It's time to decide about this relationship. So pile number 2, yeah, I do think over the next year, being clear about what it is that you want is going to be very, very important. And I think for some of you, you may be closing a chapter or a cycle with a specific person. And for others of you, you're going to be approaching the energy completely differently. Let's see what else we have here. So we have make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps that you're guided to take. And this is also about you doing what is right for you. That kept coming through this reading. So very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. And we talked about this. I think the opportunities that you ask for are going to show up for you, and it's going to be up to you to really be intentional about what you ask for and make the right decisions for you. And again, this is a pile where deciding what you want without necessarily having to decide based on what somebody else is doing or what somebody else wants is going to be important. And finally, we have let your friends help you, ask for and accept support from others. So connecting with friends, connecting with loved ones throughout the year could be very helpful for this group. But pile number 2, that is what I have for you. Claim it in the comments. I honor my needs and make choices that are right for me. I honor my needs and make the choices that are right for me. That is your affirmation for the next week. Claim it in the comments. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the video if you think it's worth sharing. All of those things help me out so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. Stick around for the poll. I will post it very soon for next week's reading. And I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to the 2 of Cups from the Modern Love Tarot deck. I'm going to place that right over there. As a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. Also, I did do a reading breakdown at the beginning. I highly suggest that you check that out because it's going to tell you exactly what will be covered in today's reading. So check that out. It is timestamped below. But we are going to start by looking at your current energy, and this should help you figure out if this is the right pile for you. So if this part doesn't resonate, try choosing a different pile because the rest of it probably won't resonate with you either. But let's see, what do we have here? So we have the number 15 with appreciation. We have Angel of Strength with the number 50. We have Community with the number 7. I will fix those in a minute. All right, and then finally we have Abundance with, I was going to say number, there's no number. So pile number 3, what is currently happening for you? I think this is going to be a pile where it's going to be different things for different people. But for some of you, it could be that you are single and you are in a good place and you are ready to mingle. But overall, you're in a good place where this could be the energy of somebody who, you know, if you're on your own, you are enjoying your life, you are spending time with loved ones, you are spending time with family members, you are doing what you have to do to make sure that you are being taken care of. For some of you, this could be the energy that you are in a relationship, in a connection, and if so, things are flowing, things are going well. Overall, this is the energy of someone who is in a good place. And it feels like not only are my pile number 3s in a good place, but my pile number 3s are in a place where there's a lot of gratitude and a lot of abundance in your life. So if you're watching this and you pick this pile and there's a big sense of like just unhappiness in your life, or you're just feeling like overwhelmed, or you're not really okay with where you are at in your life, it could be that this is not your pile, because the current energy for my pile number 3s is just one of, you know, maybe life isn't perfect, but I'm working towards what I want, and I'm working towards where I want to be. And it feels like this is a group where if you pick this pile, your life is on some sort of upcycle where things are flowing, things are starting to fall into place, and things are feeling comfortable. They're feeling good. And you are in a place where even if you're not exactly where you want to be, there's a lot to be grateful for, and there's a lot that you are already experiencing or already receiving as far as like the things that you've been working towards. And I think this is a group where if you are single, again, if you are single, it feels like this is a group where you're ready to mingle, you're ready to connect, you're ready to bring in the right person. And I also think that this is a group where you could potentially already be dating if you're single. Like you could be dating around and getting to know people. For some of you, it could be that you've already met somebody and it's fairly new. For others of you, it could be that you have an established relationship and things are going well. But this is also a group where I think there's a strong connection to something bigger than yourself, and it could be that you are a part of a community. It could be that you are creating something that you're going to share with the world. It could be that you are somebody who is a creative. For some of you, you are very intuitive. And again, it just feels like things are flowing and things feel very comfortable for this group. For some of you, if you are dating, you are meeting people that, even if it's not like the right person, it still feels like the dates are going well, or like you're able to connect to people where you're just grateful for their presence in your life. For those of you that are in a relationship, in a connection, it feels like things are flowing and things are kind of very smooth at this point between you and your partner. And I do think this is a group where you are trying to create some level of change. And it does feel like that is going well. Like whatever it is that you're trying to shift is falling into place. For someone here, if you do have a partner already, it could be that you met that person through like a job or through being out and about. Pile number 3, let's actually start. Because I'm not getting too much else for your current energy. Let's get started. Let's see what the key theme for your love life is over the next year. So what's the key theme here for my pile number 3's love life over the next year? What's this here? The Hierophant. Is somebody here engaged or going to get married over the next year? Let's take a look. What is the key theme for my pile number 3's? Let's take a look. All right, bottom of the deck, what do we have? The Ace of Cups. Things are flowing. Things are falling into place. What else do we have? The Magician. The Wheel of Fortune. There's change here. There is change. Pile number 3 and Temperance. Pile number 3, I think over the next year, I want to see what's underneath here, the Emperor card. Over the next year in your love life, so it depends on what side of the aisle you're on. If you are single and you are ready for a relationship, you're putting yourself out there, you're kind of just inviting somebody new in. I just heard, or somebody back in. So maybe somebody here wants to reconcile with someone else. Take that as it resonates. If that's the case, I think over the next year, a big theme is going to be creating change, but also being intentional. And this is almost like creating the life that you want to live, creating the life that you want to experience. I do think for this group, regardless of whether you are in a connection or not, the next year, a big theme that's going to be playing out is you manifesting what you desire and you creating the life that you want to create and being intentional and taking action on creating that life. So if you're already in a connection and you want to get engaged, you want to get married, or maybe you already are engaged and you're planning the wedding or you're going to be getting married, you're going to have the opportunity to create just that. For those of you that are single, you're going to have the opportunity to bring in the type of connection, the type of person, the type of relationship that you want to bring in. Um, I also think that over the next year, a big theme for this group is going to be just creating balance in your life and in your experience. Like, I think making sure that you are manifesting what you want in relationships, but also still honoring yourself and still honoring your own experience is going to be very important. For some of you, over the next year, you may be starting either a new connection, you may be starting a family for some of you that's coming through. And it's also about allowing the changes to take root. Because I do think that regardless of where you are at today and what is happening for you in love today, there will be a shift for this group where you may find yourself just having a completely different experience. So, if today you are single, a year from now, or as we move throughout this year, you may find yourself in a relationship. If you are in a relationship, you may find yourself moving in or getting engaged or getting married or starting a family. So there's a lot of changes coming in, and a big theme over the next year is going to be changes and manifesting the changes that you want to experience, and understanding that you have the ability to receive what you desire. That's coming in as well. I want to see what's underneath the Emperor, because this is, yeah, it feels like for this group, there's something that's going to be manifesting that's going to almost completely change your life in some way or another. And this is going to be a big shift. For some of you, it's already on its way to you. You're already receiving it. For others of you, you can't even see it yet. Let's take a look at who or what will play a significant role for my pile number threes over the next year. So who or what is going to play a significant role for my pile number threes in love over the next year? Who or what is going to play a significant role? Queen of Pentacles, bottom of the deck. Then we have the Three of Pentacles, the Hermit card, and the Nine of Cups. So pile number three, for some of you, it's going to be different answers. Take the one that resonates. For some of you, the person that's going to be playing a significant role is a significant other. It's somebody that you either already know or you will be meeting. This person feels like there is a base of friendship. This also feels like this person is someone who really almost feels like a dream come true. Like, this feels like the type of person that you have asked for, that you have dreamed of, and you're either meeting them or they're already in your life, and over the next year you're going to be progressing to the next level. I want to point out that the Magician is here, and the Magician is all about creating, manifesting, and creating the life that we want and manifesting the life that we want. And for some of you, that is exactly what you have the opportunity to do over the next year, not only via your experience, but also through manifesting the type of person that you want in your life. And for many of you, this feels like this would be a soulmate. This would be somebody who's very nurturing, very grounded, very honest. This could be somebody who is a provider, somebody who knows how to take care of you, somebody who knows how to hold space for you, and someone who just understands and gets you, and you offer them that same experience in return. And I also think that this is speaking to a person that is going to see you at a deep level and understand you at a very deep level. That's coming through here. Yeah, that 10 of Wands. For others of you, the who or the what will play a significant role is more of an experience. Because I think for some of you, there's almost like a going within throughout over the next year that leads to a realization and leads to an opportunity. I do feel for this group, there may be an opportunity for someone to reconnect to someone else or for somebody to come back in. That's coming through. Take it as it resonates. Because we see that 10, the 3 of Swords. Yeah, there's heartbreak here, the Knight of Cups. For some of you, someone may be coming in or coming back into your life. If you are the type of person where you're completely closed off, you know you don't want to allow someone back into your life, that's absolutely okay. That's not, that message is not for you then. But I do think for some of you, there's a break where it allows you to go within and then somebody else can come back in. And that 3 of Swords could point to somebody that like you've already connected to, somebody that you are reconnecting with. Let's actually, you know what? I'm going to ask a question that has to do with that. For my pile number 3s, for those that may be reconnecting with someone, what's the situation? For those of my pile number 3s that may be reconnecting with somebody, what's the situation? 8 of Pentacles. Justice. Yeah, there's some sort of reconnection here. 9 of Swords. So for those of you that may be reconnecting with someone, only take this part of the message if it resonates with you, if you know what I'm talking about. If it doesn't resonate, if you wouldn't allow an ex back in, ignore this part. But for those of you that may be reconnecting with someone, that's kind of what I'm getting with the Hermit and the 9 of Swords and the Justice card. There could be a little bit of a break, and this would be somebody that you're probably already in separation with, like from, or somebody that you're already going through the breakup with. It doesn't feel like you're happily in a connection and then this person comes back in. But for those of you that resonates, just know that you both do some sort of introspection, some sort of going within, and it leads you to the realization that you want to be with this person, that and you choose to go back to this person. But it feels like if that part is for you, you know who it is and you would welcome them back in. And it doesn't feel like it's somebody that like cheated on you or somebody that disrespected you. It could be just like out of alignment or things weren't working out. So what is a defining moment or turning point for my pile number 3s in love over the next year? So what is a defining moment or turning point? Bottom of the deck, we have, the 2 of Swords. For some of you, it's a separation that leads to introspection, a dark night of the soul, and then a brand new beginning, because we see the Fool card peeking through. For others of you, it's, let's take a look at what this is. King of Pentacles, Hierophant. Yeah, some of you are going to be settling down. Some of you are taking something to the next level. So for those of you that don't resonate with the message that there's a breakup or there's some sort of separation here, this is, and like you do have somebody and things are going well. I think what this message is speaking to is there could be an engagement, there could be a marriage. So if you're already engaged, it could be that you take it to the next level and you get married over the next year, or you buy a house together, you move in together, you take it to the next step in some way. For some of you, it could be starting a family. This could also be a turning point where for some of you, there is a cutting someone off, breaking something off. And I think for those of you that message resonates, you have already cut them off. You have already broken things off. And you're kind of going about your day, your life. You're doing what you have to do. And this person comes back in and they try to reconnect with you. They try to talk to you. But if you resonate with the message of like somebody potentially coming back in, just know that this person is coming in with their shit together. Like they're going to make sure that they show up with the right energy. They're going to make sure that they are prepared. They're not going to be playing games. That's coming through. And for those of you that are single and you are ready to connect, I think this is you kind of going about your life and doing what you need to do for yourself. And somewhere along the line, you meet this other person that is going to join you. I do feel for my pile number threes, when it comes to love, most of you are either going to be connecting with someone, taking something to the next level, or possibly reconnecting with someone from the past. Though I will say, those of you that are reconnecting with somebody from the past, it feels like a smaller group. Like the grand majority is either finding somebody new or taking things to the next level with somebody that is already in your life. So how will my pile number threes grow in their love life over the next year? So what growth are my pile number threes going to experience in love over the next year? There we go. Bottom of the deck. Let's see what we have. The King of Cups. So it does feel like things are going to become very comfortable in your love life. And I do think this is coming through as my pile number threes really being able to not only express yourselves in emotionally, but also things feeling just very safe in your love life, especially for those of you where things did not feel safe, um, or for those of you that you are maybe trying things again with somebody from the past. Their energy is going to be completely different. And I also think that you're going to be able to be honest with yourself and with your partner. Over the next year, we have the Knight of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, and the Eight of Swords. So, yeah, see, the Five of Pentacles is here. For some of you, there's somebody coming back in. And part of how you're going to grow in love is you're going to be more... This almost feels like somebody here went through a breakup, and you're going to have an opportunity to work things out with that person. Only take it if it resonates. For others of you with the Knight of Wands also being here, there's going to be growth around just how comfortable you feel in a specific relationship. For those of you that are already in a connection and things are flowing smoothly, or you are single and you are ready to mingle, it feels like your growth is going to be breaking free from specific ideas around love, especially if you didn't think you were going to find your person, or if you thought love had to be difficult, or that love had to be challenging, or that, you know, their love couldn't be peaceful and harmonious. That I think is going to be coming through. And even for those of you where you resonate with you reconnecting with someone from the past, I think a big level of growth is going to be that things aren't going to be chaotic. Things aren't going to feel as like over the top or insecure or dramatic. It feels like there's going to be a lot more harmony in the connection, in the relationship. And also I do think that wherever it is that you're at and whoever it is that you're going to be connecting with over the next year, things are going to be very respectful between you and that person. And for some of you, it's almost going to feel like you're going to free yourself from a specific pattern that you were going through in love. And for some of you, that pattern could have been just dating the wrong person, or it could have been a pattern of like ups and downs with a specific relationship. For others of you, the pattern could have been um having to be, like kind of single and on your own because you couldn't find the person that was right for you. But there's a breaking free of a pattern that happens that is going to be part of your growth. And things feel like they're going to flow a lot easier for my pile number threes in love. Let's take a look at what is something that you're leaving behind over the next year in love and relationships. Okay, we'll take it. So what is something that my pile number threes are going to be leaving behind? The Sun card. You're going to be welcoming in more joy. We also had this Knight of Pentacles, and that's what fell out. We also have the Ten of Cups and the Star card. You're not going to be forcing anything, pile number three. There's no like desire to force anything or to make anything happen. I also think that you're not going to be feeling like you need to rush or catch up or be in a specific place. It's almost like I'm going to go with the flow. I'm going to fall back and go with the flow and allow things to flow naturally. And I think for this group, there's also a leaving behind the expectations or the timeline or it has to be this specific way or it's not right. And for some of you, what you're leaving behind, especially for those of you that may be kind of getting back with someone or giving someone a second chance or giving yourself a second chance with someone, what you're leaving behind is the past experience. What you are welcoming in is being fully present in the present moment. And I also think for my pile number threes, there's an opportunity to leave behind a traumatic experience in love and relationship, whether it's because you're giving somebody a second chance or it's because it's somebody completely new and you're not going to carry that weight with you. And for those of you that are already in a connection and everything is going well, it's you choosing to leave behind anything that was out of alignment with your current experience. So if you have a connection that is going well and everything is flowing and you know this is your person and you know that they're being honest and you know that everything is exactly where you want it to be, there's a level of let me just enjoy this for what it is instead of feeling like I have to wait for the other shoe to drop or that I have to distrust what is happening right in front of me at this time. And it could even be like maybe it wasn't that you specifically had a experience that was negative or traumatic, but maybe you grew up in a household where your parents or caretakers didn't have a healthy relationship. So there's almost this like, it's not going to work out for me, or you look around you and people aren't getting along or relationships aren't thriving. There's like, let me just leave behind the doubt and let me trust what it is at this point in time and let me allow myself to be fully present in this moment and enjoy what is happening for me at this time. And I also think for some of you, what you're leaving behind is this idea of what love should be and how it should look like. And if it doesn't fit that specific description or outlook or expectation, then it can't be real. I think that's being left behind as well. And I also think for some of you, you're going to be more present in the present moment and not try to rush anything. All right, pile number 3. Let's take a look at where will you be 1 year from now. So when it comes to love, where will my pile number 3s be a year from now? Bottom of the deck, we have the 7 of Wands, the 5 of Cups, the World card, Judgment. Okay. This is a group where I feel like there's a lot of different messages, and the Fool is underneath the 7 of Wands. There's a lot of different messages, and you have to take the one that resonates for you. For some of you, I think a year from now, you're closing a chapter and you're opening a new one. And I'm not going to ignore that the 5 of Cups is here. I think for some of you, regardless of what the milestone is, there is a milestone a year from now. I think for some of you, you may be setting boundaries and you may be moving away from someone. Take that as it resonates, because I think if you're moving away from someone, it's not if you're in a relationship and everything is going well. It could be that some of you give a past connection, a past relationship, a second chance, and maybe you decide it's not for you. For others of you, it could be that you are getting engaged, you are getting married, you are welcoming in a new member to the family. For others of you, this is where you are putting the past behind you and you are moving forward, and maybe, because we have the Fool card there, and maybe you did give somebody else a chance, and what you are deciding a year from now is, I can trust this person, I can be with this person, and I have to leave the past in the past if I want to move forward. But it does feel like you're in a place a year from now where it's exactly where you're meant to be, and that is what you are moving towards, pile number 3. Because we have the Judgment card here, and I also think that for my pile number 3s, this 5 of Cups is also you just moving through an emotionally difficult period. And I think a lot of these messages are for those of you where you are going to be giving somebody from the past another chance. Because I think for those of you that are either single and you're coming into this, I do think it's like you find somebody, you move to the next level. And I think for those of you that are in a relationship and everything is going well, it's like you move to the next level, so things are just flowing. So I think a lot of these messages have to do with those of you that have somebody that you're trying or you're thinking about allowing back in. Let me clarify this. Let's clarify this 5 of Cups. Let's do that again. Let's clarify the 5 of Cups. As far as where my pile number 3s will be a year from now, let's clarify this 5 of Cups. We have the 4 of Pentacles. Let's clarify the World card. The Devil card. And let's clarify this Judgment card. The 7 of Cups. The Empress card, bottom of the deck. Pile number 3. So as far as the 4 of Pentacles clarifying this 5 of Cups, I do think that there's going to be a actually closing of a chapter that makes sense with this 4 of Pentacles clarifying this 5 of Cups, and also that World card being there, where a year from now you are feeling more secure where you are at with who you are with. This is especially true for both those of you that will be welcoming somebody back into your life, allowing somebody to come back into your life. Only take that message if it resonates. As I said, if you are 100% sure that you don't want to allow somebody back into your life, that is absolutely your choice. We also have the World card being clarified by the Devil card. So breaking free from the past, breaking free from anything that is unhealthy and not working for you. Then we have the Seven of Cups clarifying the Judgment card. So, opportunities. A year from now, you're going to have exactly the opportunities that you desire, and you are going to be manifesting the life that you want. So, over the next year, being intentional about what you are working on and what you are giving your time and energy to. I do think for those of you that pick this pile where things are flowing, everything is going well, you are with your person, and you're kind of getting prepared to go to the next level. I don't think there's so much happening for you because I think things are going to keep moving in the right direction. And I think things are going to kind of continue on the cycle that they're in. And that's kind of the case for those of you that are single and will be meeting someone and you're manifesting somebody new. I think a lot of these messages are for those of you that are welcoming someone in. And I did say this, but for some of you, what's going to be happening over the next year is either engagement, marriage, or even welcoming in a new family member. So take that as it resonates. Let's take a look at what is the advice for you at this time. Over the next year, what is the advice for my pile number threes? Advice for my pile number threes. We have the Ace of Swords, the High Priestess, the Four of Swords, Page of Wands. So, pile number three, for your advice, I think one of the main things that are coming through is get clear about where you are at and what you want, especially for those of you where there's kind of something that may be on and off, or there's somebody that's kind of in and out of your life. But even for those of you where you're single or where you are in a connection and things are going well, getting clear about what you want over the next year is going to be important. Why? Because again, you're in this place where you are manifesting and where you can create kind of almost like whatever it is that you want to create. So getting clear about that. Trust your intuition, trust your intuition, trust your intuition. I'm saying it 3 times for a reason. Also, pile number 3, having boundaries over the next year is going to be important, making sure that you are having the right boundaries with the right people, but also have fun. Create opportunities where you can bring in more joy into your life. And for those of you where you resonate with the message of like somebody may be coming back in, or there's somebody that you're potentially interested in, be very clear about how that person would need to show up in order for you to give them an opportunity, and be very clear of what you would wish to get out of it if that person came back, and how you would know if it's worth it, because I think you can go either way. Like, I think for those of you that resonate with that message of like, there's somebody that I'm interested in, there's somebody that I'm kind of going through that back and forth with, I don't want you to block a blessing where there's somebody that would be more in alignment with you coming in because you continue to hold space for someone that maybe won't be everything that you need them to be. And that's why I also want to emphasize, if there is somebody coming back in for you, pile number 3, just know that if they are serious about it and if it's going to work out, they're going to show up and they're going to show you different energy through their actions. They're going to show you that they mean what they're saying through their actions. I actually want to see, what do we have here? Let's see. So, time apart. Some distance will help bring clarity. So for some of you, if you are in separation with somebody, it could be that separation is what leads you to the clarity that you need. And for some of you, that clarity may be that you want to continue and you want to move forward. For others of you, you may realize that you want to move away from that person. Then we have finances. Financial challenges are affecting this connection. So pile number 3, it could be that over the next year, your finances kind of take you away from love and relationships, or you have to focus on finances, or maybe there is somebody in your life and there is a separation and it's due to finances, but paying attention to your finances, and it could be that finances affect your love life in some way. And then patience, everything will unfold in divine timing. So knowing that everything is going to unfold in the way that it's supposed to, and having patience over the next year can be very important as well for this group. Let's take a look. See, engagement. So your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. For some of you, there could be an engagement. There could be a marriage. Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. And free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. See? For some of you, you are going to welcome somebody back in. For others of you, you're already with someone. You're going to get engaged. You're going to get married. You're going to have babies or whatever it is. And I think that is confirmation that everything is going to work out for you. But for those of you where, again, there's somebody kind of around or something is happening, there's an opportunity for reconciliation. Hold that person accountable. Hold yourself accountable. For some of you, what you're going to find is over the next year, you free yourself from a specific situation. Let me bring some additional cards in for this group. 1 second. Pile number 3. I didn't want to leave you hanging. I want to bring in some additional cards. I didn't do these for the other groups, but I think the other groups didn't necessarily need these. So we'll see. Any additional messages for my pile number 3s, especially for those where there's some sort of reconnection happening here or some sort of somebody kind of coming back around. What's going on? All right, let's see. So we have fertility. Fresh ideas manifest growth. Plant your seeds. Be very, very intentional with the fertility card. For someone here, there could be, again, the addition of a new family member. Or it could be that for some of you, this person that is trying to come back in, maybe you have a child with this person, and that's why they kind of have an in into your life. Split energy, options, unfocused, multitasking. Decide what you really want. Yeah. And the energy of this specific reading, of this specific pile, feels very split. Then we have balance, yin and yang, darkness and light. Stay centered in your higher self. So honor yourself, stay centered. Don't let anyone take you off of your balance. Then we have runner, escape from emotion and confusion, on the run. There could be a runner-chaser dynamic here. We did have the twin flame, which is why I'm using this specific deck. But if you're in this give and take situation, do what's right for you. Don't allow anyone to waste your time. Pile number 3. And then we have feminine. Your divine feminine, you seeking her twin or soulmate. So for some of you, you're going to have an opportunity to choose. And some of you may walk away. Some of you may stick around. And some of you are going to be building something completely new with someone else, or building something new with someone familiar, and it's going to be up to you. But decide on what you want, and I think over the next year there's going to be opportunities. Stay on the lookout and be very aware of what's happening in the fall season. As I'm recording this, it's summer, June 2025. But over the next 3 to 6 months, there could be some changes or some things that come up, or whenever fall season is for you, because this is a timeless reading. But pile number 3. I'm trying to think of your affirmation. Sorry, I paused there for a bit. I bring balance into my life. I bring balance into my love life. There is your affirmation for the week. I hope this is helpful. I'm going to be honest. This was the pile that feels very split. There's a lot happening, a lot of messages. But I hope this is helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if this one resonated with you. Share the video if you think it's worth sharing. Hit the notification bell. Let me know what you'd like to see next. Stay tuned for the poll for next week's reading. And thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and we will talk soon. Bye for now.